Hello and welcome to the Belmont Journal, your source for hyperlocal news and community updates. I'm Mike Crowley, your host this week. We have a couple of news updates. The Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation has announced its 2019 Mass Trails Grant Awards, and there's good news for Belmont, which is receiving $150,000 for design work on Phase 1 of the community path. And for those who don't remember, Phase 1 will connect the Fitchburg cutoff bike path at Brighton Street with the Clark Street pedestrian bridge near Belmont Center. The grant is one of 71 projects funded by Mass Trails this year. The Board of Selectmen also is seeking 3 resident volunteers to serve on the Planning Board and 2 to serve on the Zoning Board of Appeals. Preferred qualifications for both boards are similar and could include urban or institutional planning, community development, architecture, landscape architecture, civil or agricultural engineering, commercial property assessment and development, construction management, and law. For any questions about appointments to these 2 boards and the process, you can call the town administrator's office at 617-993-2610 or email selectmen@belmont-ma.gov. To apply, you can visit the town website. And now we have some local sports news for you. Both of Belmont High School's boys and girls rugby teams have won their respective state championships. Congratulations to both teams. Jeremy Meserve also has some highlights for us.
And again, the ball comes out to the Belmont backs to have some space.
Nice move.
Nice move. Beautiful stiff arm. Belmont line, a little grub kick through. Beautiful kick. Putting good pressure on LS.
Good tackle. Yes, right.
Beautiful pressure by Belmont. But again, Christelle with the ball for Lincoln Sudbury breaks the tackle. Chased by Maddie. Not going to be caught.
No.
Belmont rucks well. Cleans it up, gets it to the outside. They have players. They have players.
Yes.
Gains a few extra meters. And the ball comes out again. Goes backwards. No knock on. Cleaned well by Belmont. Grace handles well.
Nice.
Yes. Beautiful. Becca. Strong. Driving ahead. Penalty advantage for Belmont.
Offside, presumably against Lincoln Sudbury.
They go quick and nice hit. LS. Belmont defense coming up strong.
That might be over. Yes.
They find the outside. The number 14 for Lincoln Sudbury is going to score the try. So we have
the end of the game.
1-point game, but we were wrong. That's the end of the game. That kick does it. Thank goodness we were wrong on that one, David. And the Belmont girls are again state champions in varsity rugby for the 3rd consecutive year.
Must be offside. Yep.
And offside is called. Quick ball. There's Sam for the try.
And that.
And again, Prep with a big push. But the ball won, struck well by Belmont. John Campbell in for the try.
And it's through.
It is.
Right,
We'll
we'll
get
get
that
back to you
clear
on
in a
that,
second.
folks.
John, beautiful move. Beautiful move. Taken well there. There's Paul. Good groundwork.
Good.
Moves the ball ahead. Sam Harris back inside to Chris Lynch, who breaks the line and is in for the try for Belmont.
John with the conversion attempt. So deliberate knock-on,
Tap, go, and looks good right on the goal line. Belmont. There's Ethan. That's really good kick. Beautiful kick.
The call of don't lose it, Belmont. So the time is now gone.
There's the kick. And there it is. The Belmont Marauders are state champions.
Belmont High, please come forward to accept your championship trophy.
Welcome to This Week in the Belmontonian, and welcome back, Franklin Tucker, editor of the Belmontonian. Franklin, how are you?
Just fine, thank you.
All right, so we have a couple of interesting updates this week, starting with rugby.
Yes, Belmont is Rugby Town, Massachusetts. We both the boys and girls won Division I championships. The girls won it seemed a lot tighter than it was. They really won the game in the second half. It was 27-26, but it wasn't that close. The closer game was the boys' game, where they beat St. John's Prep in a great, very hard fought struggle, and it came down to kicking and also rugby IQ. Belmont just had a better plan going into the game, both teams. So third year in a row for the girls, and the first state championship for the boys.
Well, that's wild. That's great. So let's also talk about traffic.
That's right. Let's talk a little bit about traffic. The Traffic Advisory Committee met this week concerning Common Street. Common Street in the next couple of weeks, the next 2 weeks, will start to be repaved. And the town thought it was a good time to think about maybe putting bike lanes on both sides of Commonwealth on Common Street as both a calming the traffic, to slow the traffic down, and also to give more prominence towards biking in the area.
Now it's funny. I was just thinking that if the traffic could get any slower, I'm not actually sure that it could sometimes, but these are all good things, and a bike lane certainly is something that a lot of people have been thinking about. But so what's happening on this? Well,
what happened is that a number of neighbors came in to the meeting, and this is the second meeting that that the town has held for that proposal, and they came in and basically said that if you took away their parking in front of their house, it would be a detriment to their everything in their life. Basically, it would be a detriment to having their elderly friends come over because they can't have anywhere to park because they have very narrow driveways, and the furniture people can't come every year to bring furniture, and they basically just said, look, what we should do is right now we should just be aware of bikes, put down what they have in towns such as Cambridge and Watertown, little chevrons where it says, please be aware of bikes along the roadway. One of the members
not to be as effective as dedicated bike lanes.
Not at all. In fact, one of the members of the Traffic Advisory Committee said it was Pollyannish for them to think that bikes and cars will somehow be kind and respectful for each other. He thinks that lane should be more involved. So what happened is that there will not be a bike lane on Commonwealth Avenue, but in many ways, Common Street. But in many ways, the Traffic Advisory Committee is also thinking of long-term and thinking of more of a holistic approach towards bike lanes, seeing if there's ways of getting people off main streets like Concord Avenue and places like that, and use maybe some of the side streets for bicycle traffic to major hubs in the town, such as Cushing Square to Belmont Center.
So for those that may not understand the process, is this a relatively final kind of decision?
Not really. What they wanted to do is because like I said before, they're repaving Common Street, so they wanted just to have some kind of something there while they're doing that. But it could come back in the future if they can plan it out a little bit better. Even the people of the Traffic Advisory Committee said that Common Street may have not have been the best place to do bike lanes.
Okay, and so also quickly, so there's been some sort of neighborhood opposition to some planned improvements up around Marsh Street and the Belmont Hills School.
That's right, from basically Park Avenue down to the circle in front of the Belmont Hills School. There's a big meeting tonight. It seems like this would be just something that should be approved pretty easily. The town isn't paying any money to it. It's basically being done by state and federal money and from the Belmont Hill School. But I understand that neighbors are going to be coming out tonight on Thursday. This is Thursday. And they're going to protest for some reason, maybe that they have Belmont Hill that they can up on stage, and now they can try to negotiate something there.
Okay. All right, well, thank you so much, Franklin, and we'll talk to you next time.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Welcome to This Week in the Citizen Herald, and we're joined by Joanna Juvelis, senior multimedia journalist with the Citizen Herald. So welcome back, Joanna. How are you?
Hi. Welcome back to you too, Mike.
Yeah, I've been gone for a while.
I know.
So today we're talking about, first of all, the police chief search.
Yes.
So what's the process from here on out?
Well, in case anybody needs a reminder, Police Chief Richard McLaughlin is retiring the end of this year, as of December 31st. So there's a search on for a new police chief. And what the select board are doing is they hired an outside consultant. They interviewed 3 applicants, and they chose Grew White. Grew White is the same outside consultant that was used to hire town administrator Patrice Garvin, as well as Belmont Light General Manager Chris Roy.
Okay, so the town's got a little bit of a track record with this firm.
Yes, and they were also the lowest bidder out of the 3 bidders. It was like 11,000. And they appointed a 10-member search committee that will also work with this outside consultant. And people on the committee, there's a COA rep, Council on Aging rep, Marianne Scally.
Mark Palillo.
Mark
former
Palillo is
selectman.
on it. Wendy Murphy, legal analyst, is on it. There's a PTO rep, Raymond Johnson. There's a principal, Mike McAllister. Patrice Garvin is on it. I can't remember all 10 at this time, but it's been appointed, and they're going to work together. And what they're going to do, it's a 2-part process. First, they're going to search internally for applicants. Once the job is posted, they're going to see who applies internally. And they hope, if they get at least 2 qualified internal candidates to choose from, then they won't do an outside search. But if they don't get those qualified candidates, then they will go to part 2, which is to do an outside nationwide search. We'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, so it's interesting, and one wonders whether we've got enough time before the chief retires.
Yes, they're gonna. That's why they're starting now.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in the summer. I mean, you think things slow down in this town because people go away, but the governing doesn't stop.
Okay, so
And I can't get a break. No, it's okay.
the news cycle doesn't stop.
That's right.
So the Cushing Square Starbucks is reopening.
Yes, that's a little bit of news. Yep, June 28th is the date that I was told they are reopening. They got their occupancy permit. And when you drive by the site on Trapello Road, that's where the entrance is going to be. It's on the left side of the building when you're facing it on Trapello Road. There's a parking lot adjacent to where the Starbucks is. It's that whole side of the building. It's a long, narrow space. I got to peek inside. They wouldn't let me take pictures, but there's going to be outdoor seating. It'll be very convenient. You can park your car out, most likely in one of those outdoor spaces, run in, get your coffee. But then there'll be people who will probably park themselves there all day and do work. But that's what the fascination is with Starbucks and all these other little coffee shops. And let's hope it brings more business to the businesses that have been there a long time, waiting for this development to open, as well as
some of those businesses that have experienced a little bit of a slowdown during the construction phase.
Yes.
And so this could help turn things around.
Also important to note, the rest of the building, the Winslow it's called, is not going to be open until, I was told, the end of this year.
Okay.
Because they want to get the other building done. They want to open 2 buildings simultaneously for residents. So tune in for that.
Okay. And then
One more piece of news? Yeah.
the intergenerational path at Grove Street.
Yes, this is a long time coming. Intergenerational walking path at Grove Street Park. CPA funds were approved for that, $780,000 last year.
A year ago, right?
Yes. Construction is going to start in July for this walking path. It's like a 6 foot wide ADA accessible walking path. It'll have trees along the way for shade, benches to rest and socialize. They're also adding batting cages, which will be donated from Belmont Youth Baseball. And there's
great.
a groundbreaking July 15th at 10 a.m.
So that's good to know, and I'm sure everybody's looking forward to you know, the new intergenerational path. It's been a long time coming.
That's for sure. And the bid, I was told the contractor bid a little bit lower, so maybe there'll be some extra money to go back into the CPA. The project is looking like it's coming in lower.
Well, thank you so much, Joanna.
You're welcome.
And we will talk to you next time.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay. The annual Payson Park Music Festival launched Wednesday, June 19th, with an appearance by the Ultra Vibes Band. The weekly concerts will run every Wednesday evening until late August. Joanna Juvelis was there at the season's concert kickoff and talked with the music festival's founder, Tommy Olson.
I am the founder and producer of this series. This is the 29th year. We're going for 30. I want to welcome everyone who's new, everyone who's been here before. We have 11 evening concerts starting tonight and going through August 28th. If you look on the website, www.ppmf.org, you'll see the evening concerts. They're for family entertainment, starting 6:45 or 6:30 as we get to August. In July, we have 4 kiddie concerts starting at 10:30 on Friday mornings, starting July 5th.
Thank you guys for coming out to Payson Park tonight. We are Ultra Vibes.
What do you think makes this tradition special and has made it last as long as it has?
The fact that it's easy for families to get to. It's situated in the middle of the week, before people go to the Cape, after they've come back from the Cape. Something to do, easy. You don't have to do anything except maybe make your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or buy a pizza. The kids can play in the parks. It's just easy. It's meant to be family entertainment.
It is something that I've always believed brings a community together of every age, color, race, denomination. And so my family and I have supported a band every year since it started to make sure that this keeps going. Plus, I love working with Tommy.
Now it's time for our community calendar with Jane Peters. Jane tells us about all of the interesting things happening in Belmont this week.
Hi everyone, I'm Jane and this is your community calendar for the next 2 weeks. Budding artists are invited to the library on Monday from 10:30 to 11 a.m. to decorate the front walk with chalk. Chalk is provided, just bring your imagination. Every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood. You can donate blood at the Beach Street Center on Tuesday anytime between 2:30 and 7:30. Call 1-800-RED CROSS or visit redcrossblood.org and enter sponsor code BEACH to schedule your appointment. The Mystic River is home to a wide variety of wildlife and has been the center of many restoration projects. Teens ages 14 and up can explore the river by kayak with Habitat Education Center and Wildlife Sanctuary on Wednesday. Registration by phone or mail is required for this program. Online registration is not available. Learn more about this program by visiting massaudubon.org. Head to Payson Park on July 3rd for Tommy's All-Stars and on July 10th for a Chinese music ensemble performing as part of the Payson Park Music Festival. Both concerts begin at 6:45. And on Friday, the whole family can enjoy the first kiddie concert of the festival at 10:30 a.m. with Baby Wiggle. Kids can try their hand at needle felting at the library on Monday, July 8th from 2 to 4. Needle felting is a craft where, by stabbing a piece of wool with a needle, you can create soft sculptures. The library will have the supplies and instructions to make a wool cactus or other succulent with this technique. Time and money are invariably in tension with everyone's desire to be happy. Create more time for what brings joy at the Beach Street Center on Tuesday, July 9th at 1:15. Discover greater happiness per dollar and understand the basis of informed decisions. Do you want to learn how to tell compelling stories or gain confidence as a public speaker? Anyone 14 and up can try Belmont Books' live storytelling workshop with TJ Reynolds, the first place winner from the store's very first Story Slam. This workshop takes place on Thursday, July 11th at 7 p.m. Sign up at belmontbooks.com. July's Bookworm Club at Belmont Books meets on Saturday, July 13th at noon. This month's book, The Color of My Words, explores the pain and poetry of discovering what it means to be part of a family, what it takes to find your voice, and what it means for it to be heard. Local author and teacher Sarah Marie Jett will be leading the meeting and discussing the craft and reading like a writer. Learn more at belmontbooks.com. And BMC's monthly open mic takes place on Saturday, July 13th from noon to 4 p.m. Join us in enjoying local talent from musicians, poets, singers, songwriters, and more. BMC will be hosting an open house during the event. If you are a performer who would like to take your act to the stage, you can sign up at bit.ly/openmicbelmont. And that's all for next week. If you'd like your event featured in Belmont Journal's community calendar, you can send your info to Jane at belmontmedia.org.
We end our show with a programming update for your Belmont Media Center channels. Be sure to watch. Also, if you'd like to get involved in the show or have news or community updates, please contact our producer, Frederic Rigoleau, at fred@belmontmedia.org. Also, just a reminder for the 4th of July holiday, be sure to have fun, but also be safe. And we also will be taking a hiatus for 1 week, so keep that in mind if you're looking for the next edition of the Belmont Journal. That's all for now. I'm Mike Crowley, and we'll see you next time.